blown up, didn't you?
Okay, so here's a pro tip. I know there's a Reaper in your base. Okay, you can still build things while there are enemy units anywhere near you. I know it's crazy. You may have never seen a player go for a Reaper in the early game before, so this might be a shock.
You are now in my service.
But believe me, it's actually kind of common where players will make Reapers. You might not know that as a Diamond Terran.
Bad guys closing in on your armor.
Or Diamond Zerg, rather. I'm sure nobody makes Reapers, so that's why you're freaking out and have 600 minerals and aren't making extra queens or using 5-year larva while not being supply blocked. Right? It's just a shock. Never seen a Reaper before.
Your forces are under attack.
You might be like, he's better than me. You know what? Like, you could be half... Let's see how much time. Like, because this game is far too fucking long. Most games are decided... The reason games go 30-plus minutes are because we got past... At the high level, it's at... In the first 10 minutes, neither side was able to get critical damage done. Below, Masters, for the most part, the reason why games go 30-plus minutes are because both sides forgot to do things for half of the first 10 minutes. So let's just give an example here. Okay. So. Surprise! It's a Reaper! And it's coming in from a weird angle. Okay? So. Queens are done. Queens are done. 240. We'll say 240.
Your base is under siege. The enemy's taking fire at your forces. Your forces are under attack.
I'm looking to see when you start more queens. Because you know I say in every single angry coach, in every single guide, in every single question, in every single comment, how do I defend against Terran? I say more queens. So we're just going to see when more queens pop out. Alright. Next queen. Queens take 36 seconds to build. You had a 42-second gap. Like, if you literally had just pressed one button and built a queen, you'd be much better off. But you didn't. And there's nothing else I can tell you. In fact, it's not so bad. It's one of those I'm like, if I turned it off right now, it'd be better for you. But it's close, because you simply can't sit there with 500 minerals doing fuck all, because he has a Reaper, which is more standard than you failing, and not building a queen. Like, you're not supply block, you're not using any larva, he has a Reaper. You literally, you know what would be better? It would be better for you if you just sat there and ignored the Reaper, because your economy would be in better shape if you ignored the Reaper while it was killing drones for that amount of time. The Reaper would literally kill less than you essentially killed by not creating anything. The Reaper would kill maybe 5 drones in that time. In the time it took you to do fucking anything else. If you had let it sit there and slaughter your drones, you would have taken less damage than you did to yourself. That's the situation you're in. So, here's my recommendation. Let the Reaper slaughter your fucking drones next time.
Your Zerg have finished evolving.
I'm thinking about it. Okay, so a Reaper takes 5 hits. I'm actually gonna do the math on it. 5 hits to kill a drone. That's about 5 seconds per drone. It depends exactly on the timing. Maybe you just A-move Zerglings after it. I think 5 or 6 drones if it sits there slaughtering drones. And remember, you have a queen and all that. But I'm still convinced, even if it kills, like... You did about 7 drones of damage to yourself. Or 6 drones and a queen. That's how much I would say you did. How much you missed for almost a minute. And this is why you're diamond. Like, why are you getting a Baneling Nest now? What is the Baneling Nest for? What did you see that requires a Baneling Nest? It's like, well, I was supply blocked because I was so distracted. I was supply blocked because I just built a bunch of drones and queens, which I didn't build for a while because I was distracted by the Reaper. And this one Reaper, which there are 3 things in life that are guaranteed: death, Reapers, and taxes. Scouting Reapers. That was a weird order. But somehow that Reaper came as a fucking surprise. And now it's a goddamn disaster.
It sounds really good. What is it?
And now I don't mind getting the Baneling Nest. It's better to have it and not need it than need it and not have it. But a lot of players will be like, well, I have a Baneling Nest. I should do Banelings. Okay, so this is a secret. This is why you guys pay me the big dirty esports money, right? A lot of people don't know this. Starcraft 2 is not a turn-based strategy game. It's a real-time strategy game. That means, even while you're taking your micro turn, you can take your macro turn at the same time. Just because you're trying to kill this Reaper doesn't mean you can't use your larva, or build more queens, or spend your minerals. I know a lot of players, especially below Masters, don't know this. They think it's like against the rules or something, I assume, because almost all of them do it, and then say they don't, but they just are embarrassed. But if you simply just, instead of not doing anything, you fucking did something, then you might actually be better. And this is a classic one. It's like, well, whatever I was doing, we move on. Let's go creep spread. And yes, I agree, creep spread is important. Every Twitch chat GM will comment on a Bronze League Heroes replay, but where's the creep spread? Are we going to get more creep spread so your minimal queens and no units can move quickly between your bases as all your drones are being slaughtered? Is that what it's for? I want you to, for the next 5 games, I was trying to make a joke and make a point, but I'm being literal now. I want you to actively not kill the Reaper. In the next 5 games, I want you to do whatever you can to make sure the Reaper lives. Okay? If that means ignoring it, okay. If that means pulling units away, okay. But whatever you do, let his Reaper live. Because you know what? You know what I guarantee you? Every fucking time he micros the Reaper, the same goddamn thing is happening. Let's go back. Let's go to his camp. $200 minerals. Not building the starport. Oh, he went back to his base. And he queued up a attack. He queued up a pathing. Okay, well, he's obviously better. You did mention that.
Some bad guys closing in on your army.
Like, you can't do this.
Evolution complete.
This is what happened. Like, in the first 5 minutes of the game, you spend, like, at the 25-minute mark, you're still going to be recovering from that Reaper trauma. You're still going to be freaking out against individual Terran units. Oh, my God. This is just advanced platinum. You said you're diamond. This is advanced platinum. The tunnel vision. All right, the Reaper died. If you have 1,000 minutes, like, you are mining... Let me go back a little, because you haven't finished those rounds up yet. At this point, you're mining about 1,500 minerals a minute. To get 1,000 minerals, that's 40 seconds. That's 40 seconds of not spending your money. There's only been 240 seconds in this fucking game. Is this actually diamond? Wait, let me check the chart. Let me check the chart real quick. I think so, yeah. Yeah, it's diamond. Okay, so he has a bunch of Marines. You got... Now we're building queens. Like, You got 4 queens. You could have had 7 queens by now. Like, more queens. You need to not build queens. Okay, here are 2 options. There are 2 options right now, my friend. Either he has high ground vision and your overlord dies, or he doesn't have high ground vision and it doesn't. No amount of microing it is going to get it out of this situation. Every single second that you spend staring at it, it is another second you're likely to take damage at home. Now, what you're not worrying about, you should check the other overlords, because the other overlords are scouting your strongest opponent. Okay? This overlord is scouting your secondary opponent. These overlords, though, are scouting your strongest opponent, which is your fucking self. Because right now, you're about... Well, at least you made an overlord. You got no Evo chambers. You got 700 minerals. You got 5 unused larvae. You don't have nearly enough queens. If we're gonna pretend the creep spread, why don't we go do that? No. What if I stare at this overlord? He's made a bunch of marines, but you know what he could also do? Is make more marines. If we look very closely, we might see that. Yup, medevacs. At exactly the timing medevacs always pop out for builds like this. This counterattack is why you take damage, by the way.
The enemy's taking fire at your forces.
Oh no. Six city micro. You could have been building another round of lings. You don't have injects on your hatches. You got 1. You queued up 1. You don't have any creep at your 3rd where he's likely to land. But you're like, what if these 6 lings slip in here? I might kill 3 SCVs. You spent 10 seconds on that.
Your forces are under attack.
10 seconds is more than half a Zergling build time. I wonder where the Marines went. I wonder where they could be. What is this? What are you? You saw 2 medevacs. Have we already given up on all the other bases where a spore crawler would be more helpful? And also, what are these hotkeys? What? Are you like using the middle of the keyboard?
Evolution complete.
Some bad guys closing in on your army.
I want to point out just everything right now. You scouted, like you went through the effort and the diligence, we'll call it that, to scout. He had medevacs and he had marines. And as those medevacs and marines are showing up, you're creep spreading into your main with nothing at your 3rd. He's not you. He's actually a smart player who's not going to try to just dive into the main where he could easily get pushed back. Like, oh my god, 2 medevacs and marines? Where did they come from? That's crazy. Where are the queens? Oh. Okay, so here's another, like, I know I mentioned this before, just one more point. In case you missed it last time, Starcraft is a real-time strategy game. That means if you have 14 larvae, even though you're chasing down those medevacs with like 12 Zerglings, you could build more Zerglings. Or drones. You could do it right now. There you go. As soon, like, it's red dot syndrome. Did you know, you guys know Alex 007? The Ukrainian caster and streamer? He's also a Grandmaster random player. And apparently, it's a real issue. He doesn't use the minimap. Like, it's a real, like, apparently he just somehow doesn't use the minimap. I don't understand it, like, and by that I mean, like, rarely, somehow his brain has turned off the minimap. But his macro for each race is so solid, because he's just completely ignorant of whatever the fuck else is happening. And he just worries about himself. I don't understand how he does it. Like, he doesn't literally turn it up. He doesn't, like, cover it up. It's just his eyes never wander over the luster of the minimap. And for most players, I think that's a terrible idea. But for some players that can't get their mind off what their opponent is doing and worry about themselves for 3 fucking seconds, maybe that would be helpful.
Mission complete.
Your base is getting blasted.
This is where, I don't know. So there's like groups of units that you can hotkey in different ways to control them. And when you don't use those, then if he attacks you in, I know it sounds crazy, but 2 different places at the same time, you're not completely out of position with half your units.
Your base is under siege.
No Evo chambers, no spore crawlers in useful locations, no control groups. Like, you're not even pretending to get upgrades. Yeah. On the bright side, queens. If only there were more of them, but... So I know you feel like, oh, this guy must be a pro gamer. He managed to attack with a queued up Liberator and 2 medevacs at the same time.
Evolution complete. Your swarm's totally jacked.
If you're getting a hive before any upgrades, like, this is like having a cake without flour. I don't know much about cakes. This is like having fried rice, which is one of my favorite foods. I love fried rice. Without the fucking rice, alright? You got everything else. It's like, here's some fried rice. Like, where's the rice? There is no rice. And, yeah. There's no rice. Still good in some scenarios, but you got all the fixins, but you don't have what ties the whole dish together, which is a viable ingredient. The rice is what, like, you got your shrimps in rice, you got your onions in rice, you got whatever the fuck else in rice. The upgrades affect all of your units. They are your rice.
Your forces are under attack.
Okay, so what's the best case scenario here? You have just Zerglings. What is best case scenario? You're spending your time on this. You have 46 drones, which is not enough. You have a hive on the way, no upgrades. Like, what is best case scenario? A scout? Okay, so we're gonna scout that he has a base and he has marines. Did you need to lose all your Zerglings to do that? Was that necessary? Did you need to waste your time and lose all your Zerglings to scout that he has marines and a 3rd base? Doesn't feel necessary to me, but I guess you're the big thinker here. No, he means a Brood War scout. Ah, yes, a waste of money as well, like this fucking replay. Oh, a tank. Yep, that's a tank. Oh, very sneaky. But if we kill 4 SCVs, then I'll have more workers at 46 with no upgrades.
The enemy's taking fire at your forces.
Let me just real talk right now. How many workers do you think you would have to kill to justify this while doing nothing at home? If you're doing something at home, then sure, this is worth it. You see Raynor or Cyril do it. They've got 400 APM. What do you have? Not quite that. And honestly, right now you've got about 3. But in order to justify this, just looking at the state of the game, what he's doing, you would have to kill 25 SCVs. Minimum. And that might be even, because you're probably going to lose all your links. If you do nothing at home and you kill 25 SCVs, I'll be like, that was a success. Anything less than that, it's been a fucking waste of time. At best.
Bad guys closing in on your army.
I like it. You're like, but if I get this depot,
Your forces are under attack.
congratulations. Now, I like how you freed yourself. This is very important. Everybody should try this, and a lot of you diamond players I see do. How are you going to have, like, this is like reformatting Windows. Okay? At some point, you just got to get rid of everything, and you got to start from the top. Okay, just get rid of all those Zerglings. We'll try again. Start from scratch. Okay? Maybe get some rice. Maybe get some shrimps. Maybe hold off on the Zerglings. Like, I really want to just turn this off. Because until you can stop yourself from select all armying your only Zergling while doing literally fucking nothing else, you're not going to improve. It's impossible. This is not League of Legends. I don't care how well you're gonna jungle with this fucking Zergling. You got a level... What is a high level in League of Legends? I don't know, level 15 fucking... I don't... who's good? 18. I don't know. Anyways. And your Zergling doesn't even have any... Yasuo. Oh, that's a fun name. Level 15 Yasuo over here. You got your level 3 Lee Sin with the sickest skins. And I know because that's the one all the pro gamers use. And then all the people who want to be pro gamers think they can use, but really just fuck over the team. I know that much. So you got your level 3 Lee Sin with no items trying to ward jump over the wall while everybody else is team fighting at Baron. But yeah, real team value here. And here's the thing. You're doing that in League of Legends. This is Starcraft. I don't... You got that Zergling? No. I mean that SCV. Okay, so from this point, everything you do is it, like, you have managed to take any semblance.
You are now
like,
in my service.
There's a difference between, this is why, I don't know, this might be going out on a bit of a limb. Did you play Wings of Liberty, Dan? Or Dan, I still haven't decided on that, but did you play Wings of Liberty? Because I get a lot, you played Wings of Liberty. Ah, there's the fucking problem. Okay, so this is what I've seen. I've seen a lot of, and a lot of players don't realize it. A lot of players are like, well, I was plat or diamond or gold or whatever in Wings of Liberty, like 5 years ago, but your videos brought me back and I checked out all those guides and all that. You know what you're likely to remember after 5 years? Not how to play, all your bad habits. Alright, all those bad habits you thought you forgot, but you definitely didn't. Those are the ones that come back. Not all the fun stuff. You gotta work for the good stuff. All the bad stuff comes back easy. The tunnel vision, the running up into ramps, the forgetting upgrades. Oh yeah, just like it's 2011, alright? Nobody got upgrades in 2011. That's why you were diamond. But in 2019, so a lot of players are like, well, I feel like diamond was better in Wings of Liberty. And yeah, because diamond leaguers in Wings of Liberty, you transfer it now, they're fucking silver. So, in summary, all those players who come back expecting to get better more quickly are more likely to get frustrated and not understand why they're playing so badly as compared to completely new players. Because you have to unlearn all that old bullshit before you can do productive stuff with competent players that exist today. And those are the type of players who, yeah, they might rank up a little faster because they remember how to play StarCraft, but they never learned how to play StarCraft. And that's the problem.
Evolution complete.
If you're getting +1 Carapace and an Ultraless Cavern at the same time, something has gone terribly wrong or terribly right. And it's the first one.
The enemy's taking fire at your forces.
A lot of people need, like, the thing is, I have my 100 APM to Masters guide, I guess, but I go from Diamond, I go from Platinum 1 to Masters with, I think the final record was 64 wins and 2 losses. And the 2 losses were both Protoss versus Zerg, where I got Baneling busted. because I got lazy. But staying at or under 100 APM. A few times a little over. Because when you're shit, more shit counters less shit. No amount of Zergling micro or Queen micro or anything micro is going to counter having 50 roaches and applying them directly to his natural. In a timely manner, I might add, with upgrades. Every single little other thing that strays from the path of getting more shit than your opponent is a detour that oftentimes you cannot afford and will put you in unknown territory. So now, instead of comfortably making it to like 65 drones and 200 supply, somehow both sides are under 100 supply at the 10-minute mark.
You've depleted that mineral field. Evolution complete. Your swarm's totally jacked.
Okay, if you're going... From now on, if you make Zerglings, you're not allowed to attack with it. Here, you get two options. You get two options. Pick one. One, you don't make any more Zerglings. No Zerglings, no Banelings. You might be like, there's a Reaper. I don't care. None of them. For 20 games. Or two, you learn how to use control groups. There will be no in-between, because this purgatory we're in is sending me straight to hell. Oh no. Like, the amount of effort you're going in to lean on your select all army crutch is ridiculous. Think about how much work it was to make sure your Zergling counterattacks didn't come back. Because you did it. Like you've leaned on the crutch of select all army hotkey for so long, you've gotten very good at it, I can tell. Because right here, you box the army. What if instead of doing that, you didn't have to? You just had a fucking control group. Get off your goddamn crutches, because you're never going to be a sprinter that way. So it's better than relying on select all army. You're actually working around it, which is more effort than just playing correctly.
Mutation is ready. Let's hope the enemies know.
Oh, looks like there's still a tank there. Who would have thought? Looks like there are still tanks there. Who would have thought? I'm done. All right. Don't worry, there's only 30 minutes left in this game. I'm super done. It's too much now. Too many times. Too many times. Too many times individually microing a Zergling instead of doing anything else. Welcome back to this Diamond League disaster. Between Cygnus, who can't finish it, and Danis, who was never there in the first place. Okay. Somehow they got unlocked. Oh, we're trying to do Bane Mines. It'll only cost us half the army. Alright. Okay, let me take this as our daily... Welcome back to WNTR News. I would like to take this time to give everyone their daily reminder that Broodlords exist. Thank you for subscribing to WNTR News. Ah. And away we go. Oh my god. And also, might I be clear? By Broodlords, I don't mean 2 Broodlords, I mean like 12 Broodlords. Two Broodlords are just enough to be like, well, I did go Broodlord, see? Okay, it's happening. And then you finally won a fight. And then you decided you wanted to lose the fight. Alright, beautifully done. Okay. So, it went great up until we disjointedly attacked into a planetary fortress at length. Units lost. Now we see 20 minutes of a Terran player trying to figure out how to beat Banelings. He's being very methodical about it, isn't he? Wow, you killed the army. Let's watch you fuck it up now. I'm excited for this part. Okay. You followed 4 months ago. Your first 4 messages are about fire bats. So, there are a lot of Brood War units that have transferred over to Starcraft 2. Obviously, like things like the Zealot and Marine. The Fire Bat, not one of them. The Fire Bat is not in StarCraft 2, but the Lurker is, so I would just continue doing your best impression. You might be like, well, I meant Hellbats. 1, you're wrong. 2, stop it. Okay, so let us point out at this point that Dennis somehow, despite all odds, is ahead on supply, has recovered, and I don't know if winning is the right word, but is in a viable position to potentially win the game. Okay. Oh, I thought it would stop, but we're just... Remember, angry coaching doesn't just involve the coachee. I'm 34. So, being old does not excuse incompetence and ignorance. It just reinforces the fact that your statement is incorrect and explains why. Firebats and or Hellbats would not have helped significantly or even really helped against the army. The statement originally, well, maybe Firebats, but was wrong. We didn't have to go into detail. Don't make Hellbats against Broodlords, Banelings, Infestors, and Ultras, guys. It is not the right call. It's a dumb move. That was what I was getting at. But we had to go into detail, so I was happy to do so. The broodling is an elusive creature. A broodling can stalk its prey over great distances. Some even say distances greater than that of a Yamato cannon. Now, a wild broodling may be without its lord, but if it's found without its lord, it will still strike from an unexpected direction. Sometimes that happens. Yep, that's a Zerg army.
Now in my service.
Thank you, sir. Yep, still a Zerg army. I mean, I guess when you have... How many orbitals does he have? He's got 6 orbitals. He pretty much has permascan at this point. Perma-Venn scan. You might be like, well, Winter, what am I supposed to do? Just go Infestor Broodlord and kind of turtle it up and fight it out? Yes. Yes. It's kind of annoying. But, yes. If for some reason, if we ignored the first 10 minutes and we got to this point, yes. Corruptor, Infestor, Broodlord. Maybe and Overseers. Maybe this is the point where I should have left the game. I would have said 10 minutes, but whatever. At this point, if you can remax, he can still fuck it up. He's still one fungal away from fucking it up, to be honest. Like, one solid fungal on the... Oh no. Yeah, he kind of stopped building Overseers, didn't we? I think he killed more Terran than Zerg with that one. Look at the supply! So we make Zerglings. I mean... So yeah, you definitely shouldn't have left the game then. You didn't even have a fungal at this base. It's like, how many times can I attack into this location? Don't use the banelings on SC. I mean, whatever. This is where you go to Infestor Broodlord now. You want to fight. Now you go back to Infestor Broodlord. Okay, so here's a thought process. Here, I wanna. Okay. Come with me. Come with me. All right, I'm a doctor. So here we go. We're gonna do a flow chart here. Decision-making process. Attack. Planetary. There are two options. No, and also fuck no. Pick one. Decide. What a play. Oh, he killed the planetary with corruptors. Jimmy wanted us to watch that instead. You know, this is the kind of replay you send in because you want help with Turtle Terran, but and just completely forgot what a train wreck the first 10 minutes were. Or might remember, but thought we were going to focus on this part. This part, the thing about Diamond, like, I could tell you how to deal with Turtle Terran, but once we get to the point, like, once a player gets to the point of me not having anything to say in the first 10 minutes, honestly, usually they're beyond my coaching. Go talk to Pig or something, because they're probably above my MMR. That doesn't mean I can't help, but, like, don't worry. Statistically, 99% of people aren't, so I'll be fine. What is happening? Here come the battle cruisers. He has had quite a bank for a while. I just want to see if he says anything. Give you credit for that. Remember, Starcraft. Did you say that was D1? D1. Because if it's actually D1, I don't know. It seems like you're playing random. Then it's a D+. As in, you should have been punished way harder for the absolute train wreck of early game tunnel vision. And that will matter way more than any late game. Like, it's unacceptable. I would have believed plat, is essentially what that means. Like, I would have been like, if you're plat, okay, at least you got to where you're supposed to be. At least you eventually got the units you needed. But for diamond, it's like, it took you 15 minutes to get to +2 upgrades. Like,